Welcome to the Crystal Beauty Show. Today with me I have Hollywood actress Hallee Hirsh. Stay tuned, you don't want to miss it.
You look like an angel, walk like an angel, talk like an angel, but I got wise. You're the devil in disguise, oh yes you are, devil in disguise. Devil in disguise, oh yes you are.
Jody, what did you do?
I shot him. I told you I could take care of myself.
Welcome to the Crystal Beauty Show. Thank you so much for granting us this interview. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, girl.
Nice.
Fun.
So, you have been acting since you were 3 years old.
Yeah.
So how did you discover that acting was what you wanted to do?
So at that time, my brother, he's 7.5 years older than me, and he was doing all kinds of theater, and I was a little baby, and I was basically babysat at rehearsals, and I saw all the kids getting attention, and my little 3-year-old self was quite the ham, and I wanted attention too. So they got me up on stage, and I was very happy about that, and I started doing commercials and stuff when I was 3 years old, and that was in Florida, and we moved up to New York when I was about 4, and I got on a soap opera, and I was on that for a couple years, and I started doing more commercials, and I started doing television and film, and my first film was Lolita with Jeremy Irons. I had one little scene with him, and it was awesome, but it wasn't until I was 10 years old, and I did an episode of Law and Order, where I played a character who was completely different from me, because she was basically a budding serial killer, and I was fascinated with playing someone so unlike me, and I realized that acting was more than just this fun thing that I did after school to like hang out with cool people. It was something that I really loved as a craft.
Okay. You're well known for performing in dramas like Grey's Anatomy and ER. So when you started in 2001, you actually stayed till 2009.
Yeah, I was on for like a couple of years, and then they brought me back.
Okay.
Later on, yeah.
Yeah. So why did you commit so much time into into drama, like a drama like that?
Well, I mean, as an actor, you take what you can get, right? But I mean, that's one of the best shows that's ever been on, in my opinion. I'm so honored to have been a part of it, and yeah, it was extremely dramatic. It was another one of those characters that's very unlike myself, and her experiences are very unlike the ones that I've had in my life, and I just really enjoy exploring other people's perspectives, you know, other people's view on the world, even if I maybe myself wouldn't agree because I've come from a different place. I like to get in the shoes of other people, and that's really fun with drama and comedy. Comedy, you can do that in such a huge way as well.
Let's talk a little bit about your upcoming movie, Bad Behavior. Can you tell us more about this movie? I know it's a thriller. And yes, I saw the trailer and it's amazing. So tell us a little bit more about this movie, what we should expect from it.
Okay, so yes, Bad Behavior is a thriller. It's about a girl who is a babysitter, and she goes over to a house to babysit a young girl, a pubescent boy, and an 18-year-old boy is there as well, which is weird because why would you need to babysit a family when one of the siblings is your age? And she wakes up, she gets hit in the head and wakes up on the floor in the bathroom with the two younger kids. And she's not sure who's out to get her, who's in the house, what's going on, and the kids aren't really telling her a whole bunch of information. Turns out it is that older brother, and she's not sure if she's protecting the kids from him as well as herself from him, or who she's protecting who from, but she knows that her life is in danger, and she has to get herself out of there.
Talking about Bad Behavior, it's going to be released on DVD. Why is that?
I think it's going to be released actually on DVD as well as video on demand, like Netflix.
Okay, so it's not going to be in theaters.
No, there are so many films made every year, and this is a very, very low budget film.
Okay.
But when you watch it, you wouldn't be able to tell. It's made by incredibly talented people who had excellent resources at their disposal that they didn't, getting a film made is pretty much a miracle. And so it's so difficult. There are so few avenues for theatrical distribution these days, and there's so many films being made. So we're really lucky that we have things like Netflix that gets movies out to people. And I mean, I know I have a whole bunch of fun finding movies I've never heard of and watching on there. Okay. So I hope you enjoy.
Yes, I'm definitely gonna watch it. October 22nd, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Babysitter's here.
We'll be home tomorrow afternoon. Get your $80 in.
Actually, your wife promised 100.
Honey, I think I did.
Well, then I guess it's 100.
Be good. Listen to Zoe.
Call us. We will always have our phones.
Your sister is so cute. Do you want me to take your tiara off?
I need it so people in my dreams will know I'm a fairy princess and respect me.
Your brother's kind of a dick, though. I don't want to tell your parents about the porn.
Oh. I do threesomes here.
While you're down there, he's like that serial killer neighbor on the block where everybody's like, we never thought he could be the masshole murderer.
That's a lot of medicine.
We're just a hair dysfunctional.
Whoa!
Did you hear that?
She's dead. Why did you bring her here?
What happened?
There might be someone in the house.
It's a monster. We have to hide from the dragon so he doesn't eat us. Or breathe fire on us.
I was trying to save you. What are you talking about?
Or rend us limb from limb.
Back away from the door, I have a gun.
We're gonna shoot you, mofos! West Coast! If I stay,
What?
I want to see them.
Boobies, 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 boobies!
Happy?
How did you prepare to act in this?
This film all happened quite quickly. From the start when I got hired to finishing filming, and it was one of those scripts that I really immediately connected with the character. First and foremost, it was my interaction with the other actors who were absolutely incredible. Jeremy Dozier and Austin Rogers, and it was this incredible back and forth interaction that, and Ellie Fisher, gosh, I can't forget Ellie Fisher. She plays the little girl.
Yeah.
It was, I really kind of became who I was in the room with them. It was actually really cool the way they cast the project. They brought us all together and had us read scenes together to see if they could get a really good group of people that work well together and if there's chemistry. They did really nice chemistry readings. And they took a scene that happens in the beginning and asked us to play it like it was happening at the end, where I thought that I was about to be killed. And we just took this incredible scene that really seems on the page like really nonchalant and sweet, and just based off the chemistry and what we were able to do together as actors, we turned it into something absolutely frightening. And that was one of the coolest experiences of my entire career, was that audition. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope that I get this, because I would be working with incredible people who want to play with human emotion in such a fun way.
I noticed that you have a strong following in America and Canada. And I was just wondering, do you see yourself acting in an African movie sometime soon?
Oh my gosh, I would love that. Oh my gosh, I would love that. I mean, first of all, I love to travel, and I've never been to Africa. I've been to Asia, and I've been to Europe, and I have not been to Africa. And Africa is one of the places that I've got to get to. I don't know how one goes about doing that. If you know, you should let me know.
I will let you know. When the interview is done, I'll give you some information. Okay, so now, what do you do for relaxation? Because I know Hollywood can be stressful sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you do in order to relax yourself?
I like to cook, and I like to garden.
Oh,
Basically,
nice.
things that revolve around food. I like to be with food. Food makes me happy.
What's your favorite food?
That's a good question. You know, my favorite foods, I used to always say, were French fries and macaroni and cheese, which I basically don't even eat anymore. I don't eat that. It's like not good. I eat stuff from the garden. I eat good quality pasture-raised meats. I think maybe my favorite food these days would be butter. I eat butter like cheese. It's weird.
Wow.
I like fat.
But I mean, you're slim. You're not fat. So how do you go to the gym? Do you stay fit?
I don't actually go to the gym. I hike. I do working out basically in my garden. When I turn my compost pile, it's quite a lot of lifting. But fat doesn't make you fat. I try to stay away from that sugar and, those carbs, like those previous favorite foods of mine, like French fries and macaroni and cheese. I stay away from those things because they're usually processed and made from bad oils. So I think it's true. Fat doesn't seem to make you fat. But when I started eating a bunch of sugar, I used to work at a place where there were a whole bunch of pastries, and I would eat them like every day. I would just eat like 3 pastries a day, and I gained 15 pounds in 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, it can, sugar is bad news.
Did you go back to school when you were done working on Grey's Anatomy and ER? Did you go back to school? And how did that feel for you, where you're a celebrity and you're in class? So what was that process for you? How did that feel?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I'm in Los Angeles. We actors are kind of like a dime a dozen. Okay. So it was harder in high school than it was in college, just because I think in high school it's hard socially anyway. People are discovering who they are, and it was difficult for me to really feel like I fit in. But in college, I just fell in love with what I was studying, and it wasn't. I think a lot of people didn't even know I was an actor. Some did, and would talk to me about it, but it wasn't my identity necessarily. I was really, really serious about what I was studying. I was studying cultural anthropology, and also, I didn't live on campus. I lived in my house here and would commute every day to UCLA. So my college experience wasn't that really cool social experience, unfortunately. But fortunately, it was an extremely educational experience, and I was very professional about it. I went to school to go to class, and I loved class.
Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Gosh. I do see myself as one of those actors that people can count on, that people, and they exist out there. They're these actors who aren't necessarily famous, but they work all the time because people in the industry know they're good, and they know they're reliable, and they know that they can do anything. And they often just get phone calls out of the blue to get up and go shoot a film or go work on a TV show, and my gosh, that would be amazing. And I feel like I'm getting closer to that. There was a film that I did a year ago that I'm also promoting called Infiltrators. Okay. And that one was a direct booking, which is just, one of the most incredible blessings of my career is to be called out of the blue and not have to audition and to be asked to go to work on an amazing film with incredible people.
Okay. While acting, was there any point in your career where you felt like, I don't want to act anymore, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else?
Well, all the time I feel like I don't want acting to be the only thing that I do, because acting usually means you have to wait for that phone to ring. Mm-hmm. You have to wait for someone else to decide your fate, and that can drive somebody crazy. That can just drive you insane. Sometimes, I let that get to me, and it's like, it's awful. And it's the other things that I'm interested that keeps me a full person. And I studied Chinese as well as cultural anthropology in school, so I can speak Chinese, and I've traveled in lots of parts of China and have really discovered an incredible part of the world that I wouldn't have known about. And I'm very serious about my gardening that I mentioned. I'm like very serious about it, and I hope to become. I hope to create here where I live in North Hollywood a model for urban sustainability. I want to grow as much edible food as possible in a very efficient and sustainable way that doesn't require a lot of other external inputs. And that's become, I've been taking that, like, it's not just a hobby for me anymore. I want to help people learn how to feed themselves.
That's a really good idea. That's really cool. And there's been a lot of buzz about reality TV shows, and I was just wondering, do you see yourself in one, and which one would it be?
Oh my gosh, I have to confess, I really haven't seen many reality shows.
Okay.
And as an actor, it's like I see it as like a totally different genre or different just facet of entertainment that I don't really relate to, because everything that I've ever been in has been scripted and is you see yourself as separate from the character that you're playing. And reality television, it's hard for me to wrap my head around being a personality on television that's the same as your personality off of television. I mean, it's different than being a host or being it's when you're showing your life on TV. I think it's fascinating because I love documentary film, and I love being a fly on the wall and seeing the way people exist in their natural way without being self-conscious. But I don't know how I would fit into it. I have no idea.
Well, maybe just being yourself,
Maybe it would be some okay, here's the show that I would want to be in. I want to be Anthony Bourdain. I want to be on a travel show and get to travel all over the world and have people watch me eat amazing food and get to do all that for free. That would be the reality show I'd be on.
Cool. We all like watching you, on all the shows you've been in, the movies you've been in. And we're just wondering, who do you like to watch? What shows do you like to watch?
Well, I am finishing Breaking Bad right now. Please don't spoil anything for me, which stinks because I have to carefully go through my Facebook wall because every day there's a ton of spoilers. I love Breaking Bad. My favorite show ever is HBO's The Wire. I don't think there's been anything done that can. It's the best TV show I've ever seen. If it were a film, it would be the best film I've ever seen. It's something that I just can't compare anything to. I think it's just above and beyond everything. But I also love Battlestar Galactica. I'm a big Sex and the City fan. Yeah, but right now I'm in the Breaking Bad world. I'm in the Heisenberg world.
Is there any actor or actress that you haven't worked with yet that you would love to work with in the future?
Oh, tons. A million. My favorite female actresses are Jodie Foster and Cate Blanchett. And Marion Cotillard.
Cool.
I would love to be in their presence, let alone work with them. They're like goddesses. I I've always just been so enamored with Philip Seymour Hoffman, with Jeff Daniels, with, you know who I love Steve Buscemi so much. I really like quirky actors, and I really like chameleon actors who can play unrecognizable roles from one another, play totally different people, and you don't recognize them in one thing to the other.
Who is your role model?
I have so many. My gosh. I mean, I think it's always been the role model that I've had for the longest would probably be Cate Blanchett.
Really?
Yeah, she's the way she's always involved in theater and film, and maintains such a seemingly sound and stable family life, and is able to be the queen, but also able to sort of dodge the nasty part of fame. I think she's one of the most intriguing and poised actresses out there.
I did a lot of research on you, and I realized that there is nothing about, you getting in trouble, you taking drugs, or nasty divorces, or nasty breakups, and all that stuff that we see a lot of, on the news when it comes to Hollywood. So I was just wondering, what do you do to keep yourself together?
You were looking for skeletons in my closet.
Yes, I was, and I couldn't find any.
I hire a very elite group of agents who protect all the bad things I do and keep them all secret. No, gosh, what do I do to stay? I have amazing friends, right? It's all about who you surround yourself with. Sure. I love the people in my life. I love my fiance, and I love all my friends, and we just have a good time together. We're not out to, get hurt. That's no fun.
Where can we get more information about you?
You can go to my Facebook page. My name is spelled weird. It's Hallee Hirsh, but it's spelled Hallee, and my last name is Hirsh. And you can go to my Instagram, which is Hallee H, Halleeh. And you can go to my Twitter, which is Hallee Hirsh.
Finally, what last words do you have for our viewers?
Thank you so much for watching. I'm flattered that you want to know about me, and thank you, Crystal, so much for talking to me today.
I'm honored, actually.
I've watched a whole bunch of your videos before talking to you, and I love your stuff. You're so much fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. As usual, leave a comment, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter, and until next time, this is Crystal saying bye-bye.